older than me.
So 25 to 35?
Over 6 feet, beefy, white.
Look, everyone's allowed to have their preference, but this is probably why there's that study that says that 45% of women will be single and childless in the year 2030, because there's too many modern women that have ridiculous expectations.
Minimum height.
6 feet.
Yeah, that's where they get you. Would you exclude obesity?
Absolutely.
Minimum income. So
I'm gonna say at least 200.
200 grand?
You can be 30 years
Oh
old and
my
make
goodness.
200.
Take a guess at what percentage of men fit this
2%.
criteria? 2%? Much lower. It's 0.049%.
All right, is this going on the TV?
You have a job, so shouldn't you be able to afford your lifestyle? Your money is our money, but my money is my money. Modern women have unrealistic expectations. These girls' demands are so high that not even aliens could fulfill them. Young women in the West seem to have lost touch with reality. Men are finding it increasingly challenging to meet their expectations. Don't worry. Wait until they're 40, looking like they're 50, single, burnt out, and still promoting their agenda. Then, you might feel sorry for them. When it comes to salary expectations, I'm always surprised by the income women are seeking in a partner. I believe many of these women are unaware of income statistics and how few men actually earn the salary they desire. Even if only 25% of women hold this often unrealistic expectation of finding a partner who is a top 1% earner and are successful in their pursuit, the vast majority of them will have no single men left to choose from who meet this criteria. The numbers simply don't add up. If women want to be equal to men, why do they still prioritize higher status partners in their dating and marriage choices? Well, because the last 100 years of feminist propaganda cannot erase the last 100,000 years of evolution. Women everywhere have a natural instinct to seek out higher status partners. While I wouldn't criticize a woman for following her instincts, I do take issue with feminism and social media potentially distorting these instincts, leading to behaviors that are counterproductive or even harmful. Before, during, and immediately after World War II, women's expectations were suppressed by society. The prevailing ethos was, you need to get married, and almost any man will do.
Women our age are more likely to be in relationships than men, which makes you think, who is everybody dating at the end of the day? If the women aren't dating the men, then...
What crosses my mind is I think there's perhaps two explanations. One, women in that age group are dating older men, 30 to 40. But I think the bigger thing is that women are maybe think they're in a relationship or are in a relationship and they're sharing higher quality guys. So, and there's this concept called hypergamy. Women are all chasing after the top tier of men. So a lot of women are happier sharing a top tier guy than settling for a guy that's actually on their level.
Starting from the 1960s, there was a significant shift in societal paradigms. Feminism emerged, teaching women that they could have it all, including seemingly contradictory desires like equal pay for equal work and the opportunity to marry up to a man who earns twice as much as them. Essentially, if women wanted to marry up while earning as much as men of similar caliber, they needed to find a man who ranked higher in society. Over the past 50 years, feminism has expanded far beyond its original intentions in the Western world. While there was a legitimate need to break free from the rigid stereotypes that confined both men and women before feminism, the movement has aimed for much more than just equality. It has significantly impacted male-female relationships, often to their detriment. Feminism, in its quest for equality and the dismantling of the patriarchy, has often resorted to denigrating men and dismissing the value of masculinity. It has frequently emphasized the concept of toxic masculinity while neglecting to acknowledge healthy masculinity, which is crucial. As a result, men have become increasingly cautious about entering into relationships. They understand that if a marriage fails and ends in divorce, they are at a significant disadvantage, especially in family court. Family courts, in their pursuit of the best interests of the child, often disadvantage fathers, depriving children of their good fathers. This situation has made relationships, marriage, and starting a family less appealing to men, as they fear the potential consequences if things go wrong. In the current dating landscape, being a high-earning man might get you considered by the current generation of potential wives and mothers. However, being in this position also exposes you to the risk of being used for your money and losing everything in a divorce. This dynamic is, in part, thanks to the influence of feminism.
Swear to fucking God, if one more man tells me at the end of a date that I have taught him so much, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Women are not your teachers. Women are not your teachers. Women are not here to make you better men. Women are not your teachers.
Did he ask you to teach him? Was he demanding that you be his teacher in that moment? Or did you say something where he was like, oh my gosh, I learned something from you? You know, like humans do, where we open ourselves to new opportunities and we learn something. I mean, my goodness, in any relationship, you want to learn from the other person. Sounds like you just gave up some pretty good men. Men who were open and willing to learn something from you instead of being, standoffish or toxically masculine and not listening to a woman. Do you know how amazing it is that you found men who are open and willing to listen to what you have to say, especially when you have such a negative attitude about it? My goodness. There are women that would love for a man to listen to them and learn from them. But apparently that's wasted on you because all of a sudden it becomes an ego game for you. Oh my gosh, a man is learning from me? Absolutely not. Can't have that, right? He must know everything because you're sexist.
Men, as a collective, often find themselves in a difficult position. They are conditioned to accept less in relationships, encouraged to marry and date down, while women are pushed to seek partners who are up in terms of status or earning potential. This societal framework disadvantages men, who may not realize the extent of this imbalance. Until men collectively recognize that everyone should have the freedom to choose partners on an equal footing, rather than feeling pressured to lower their standards, they will continue to struggle in the dating world. Some men, however, have evolved beyond this paradigm and assert their own standards and boundaries. They are a minority, though, outnumbered by those who conform to societal expectations. In personal encounters, some women may criticize men for being too picky, especially after revealing certain life circumstances. However, men are entitled to prioritize their own happiness and well-being in these situations, without owing anyone an explanation. Despite these challenges, many men eventually find happiness in healthier relationships, or by choosing to go their own way, MGTOW, after experiencing disappointment in their first marriages. This path often leads to a more fulfilling life, as they are not constrained by unrealistic expectations imposed by others. Meanwhile, women who leave relationships hoping for better outcomes may find themselves struggling, particularly if they become single mothers with fewer options available to them. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Support this channel through membership. You can also support through PayPal link in the description. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.